Embark Studios is back in the news, everybody, and I'm very happy about that. You may have been listening if you've been listening to this podcast, you know how much of a fanboy I am of Embark Studios, creators of the Finals, former devs of the Battlefield series. Several of them worked on Battlefield 3 and 4, and important to this discussion, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Which was received negatively because of what we were talking about in our last video about what happens when the corporate overlords have their hand in the pie.
Loot boxes.
They're like, let's do loot boxes and fuck everything up. You know,
I want money.
So
they're really reaching deep in there.
Yes. So Arc Raiders is a result of what happens when they don't have the reins held tight by that of Electronic Arts, the evil corporation, yet, and can make their own game, their own way, and try again, basically. So Arc Raiders is part of this extraction shooter genre that we've been hearing a lot about. Last time, if you listen to the podcast, we talked about Marathon, and that was getting a lot of attention because it is a Bungie-based game. We felt it was not necessarily the right vibe for what Bungie should be doing, the right direction for what they should be doing. But I'm happy to say that Arc Raiders right now is as close as possible to get me and hopefully all of us into a point where we could potentially get excited about extraction shooters and maybe get pulled into this genre. But that's with a big asterisk. So let's talk about it. But Arc Raiders is, again, Embark Studios is a third-person PvPvE extraction shooter set in a post-apocalyptic Earth overrun by mechanized threats known as arcs. So you play the role of raiders venturing from an underground base, Separanza, to scavenge resources on the Earth's surface. The environment's fraught with dangers, including hostile arc machines and other players. The game emphasizes strategic extraction, where players must decide when to engage or evade threats to secure valuable loot. It's expected to come out sometime this year. The reason why we're talking about it now is because there was a technical test that came out that finally I got access to, which was nice. Jason, you've played before, but you're probably under NDA, so you probably can't talk about your experiences necessarily with that. But now it's like open. Everybody can talk about it, do whatever they want to with it. Yeah, now you can talk about it. And the playtest is ending today, actually, and it got a lot of attention for just polished gameplay, immersive world building, etc. So I've played about 4 hours of the game. I know that's not a lot. That's not near as much as to really put in an opinion, but you know what? I'm going to talk a little bit about it anyway, because I think what's here has a lot of great potential and could potentially bring this genre into more of the masses, because there's been so many games that we've talked about in the past, like Hunt Showdown. That one's incredibly hard. It's not a shooter, so it's very limited already in its audience because of that feature. It's first person, another limiter potentially. The setting of the swampy kind of dreary kind of era is kind of limiting. And then you have Escape from Tarkov, which is a hardcore military style shooter, also limiting in the fact that it is a very hardcore, slow moving kind of paced game. This one feels a little bit more kind of like in the middle of like all those things, where the third person aspect of it is very familiar. I mean, like you have your gun loadout, you have like this big, huge open world. The world is beautiful. Like it's really, really pretty. One of the best looking games and one of the best running games for how beautiful it is. I mean, the performance is like unreal. It's crazy how good this runs with how, I mean, this is one of the best looking games I've seen on my PlayStation, and it runs better. Like it's like, it looks like Helldivers, but it runs twice as good as Helldivers on my PlayStation, which is insane.
Okay.
But the same level of fidelity. And you drop in, you pick your loadout, you drop in the battlefield, you got a map, which the maps actually aren't as big as I thought they were going to be.
I thought they were huge when I dropped in.
They're huge, but I expected like almost Battle Royale size maps. Almost not that big, but like I didn't like it feels more of like a 64 player Battlefield map. Okay. Which is big, but like it's, or not even 64 player, probably like the 32 player size map.
Oh.
So it's not, I thought it was going to be very large, where it would take me like 10 minutes to get across the map. And I feel like it'd be more like 5 to 7 maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I could be wrong because I have quite frankly, I've been getting my ass kicked in this game, so I haven't gone super far. But it seems like a little bit more contained than I thought. Marathon, I think, is still even more contained space, but it definitely is like a kind of a smaller situation than I expected. You pick your loadout. You got different types of guns. Your shotgun, your assault rifle, your SMGs, etc. You have a shield that you can load up. You can also load up like consumables like bandages, shield regenerators, and then there's also like frag grenades, smoke grenades, etc. And then you go out there, you do your stuff, you loot around, you have objectives. So one thing that I like about it is in order to get you to kind of play.
Let's get forward.
Huh? Yeah, sorry.
Please?
Yeah, please. No, I'm just kidding. In order to get you to like play, kind of explore the area, you can open up the map and there's like regions that are like buildings that are marked with loot, like abundance, essentially. So, yellow is going to be like lighter loot. White is like very much like not much loot here at all. Red is like there's a shit ton of loot here. So it kind of targets you into certain regions and areas of the map to direct where you want to do your loot. And there's also like a quest log throughout the course of the game that this quest log kind of gets you into learning the mechanics. Yeah. So one of it is just like extract successfully and not die. So that alone is a feat in itself. Another one is like collect 15 fabric. So when you collect the 15 fabric, it like is a person that's they'll give you resources, and it kind of is just a way to get you to try different things in the game as you're playing. But when you drop in, like you're fighting two enemies. You have the Arcs, which are the robot AI, and then you have the Raiders, who are enemy players. I don't know how many players are in a map, but it seems like it's probably like 15 to 20, if that.
I mean, they're enemies. It depends if they shoot you or not,
Well, yeah.
They can be friendly.
Yeah.
I hate it. I run into something and people just start shooting me. Because, like, the first time I played, I ran into someone, he'd shot once and I just waved at him and he was just like, he put a thumbs up and I was like, I don't know how to do that. So I just waved back and I just ran over there and we both extract. But, yeah.
Yeah. So I had a few moments like that. I always thought it'd be more like I would get my ass kicked each time, but I had one time where I was going to extraction point and there was a person I heard on comms. I was like, "Hey, don't shoot! I'm friendly," and I didn't recognize it because it was so quiet. He was off in the distance. But then I saw them and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to shoot them. I'm hoping I'm just going to risk it and hope that they don't hit me.
Bad idea.
So the elevator opens up. And then he walks in there and starts it. And then I walk in there and I look at him and he hides behind this like stack of like a box or whatever. And then I'm just like, I'm looking around. I'm like, should I shoot him? Should I not shoot him? I'm like, I'm not going to shoot him. I'm going to take a risk. And sure enough, he didn't shoot me. Everything's fine.
That's the thing. And that's another thing, Brett, I don't think you mentioned is like, once you gather your resources, you have to head to an elevator to extract. So that's what we were kind of talking about.
So you go around. You can spend as much time as not as much time. There is a limit to the map. It's like I think 20 minutes
what
roughly.
What happens when you run out of that limit?
I don't know what happens. I haven't experienced that yet.
Okay, because that's why I ran to extraction so fast. I was running. So scary thing. Whenever I played the closed beta and I signed that NDA to not talk about it, but now I can talk about it.
Don't talk about it.
I was running around exploring, having a good old time, and then I hear something and I'm like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? And then I see a fucking little spider robot fucking. I was like, whoa.
Dude, that spider robot's bitch.
Motherfucker turned invisible. I was like, where did he go? I'm looking for him. He jumps on my face and sprays me with fucking toxic. Spiders. I hate spiders. Sprays me with toxic chemicals. And now I'm hurt and I just jumped in this world. And I'm like, what the fuck's happening? So I fucking chased them down and shoot them. And the only thing you hear is their legs. Like just moving, and I'm looking around. They're like tiny, dude. Like a RC car tiny.
Yeah.
So I'm running around. I'm like, this would be better if I was playing with more people, had a squad with me.
Yeah.
Because boy, it just got to me, man. And then luckily I just extracted and got out of there. And I was like, I'm done. I played almost 2 hours of it, and I was just like, I can't anymore. I need someone else. So
yeah. And that's definitely been my my experience so far. This is so I've seen a lot of contention about like Marathon specifically in that it doesn't allow solo play.
Yeah.
Right now, and this game does allow solo play. So you have the option when you start a match to either play solo, or you can do fill squad, and it'll fill in your squad with randos. I've been afraid to do that because I'm afraid somebody's going to sit there and like bitch me out because I suck, because that's what often happens in these games, especially games of this level of caliber. But it is a solo play game, but it's incredibly difficult solo play, especially for a casual gamer like me and like us, you know? And that's my deterrent so far about it, is that I think if anything's going to get me excited about extraction shooters, so far it's this, because I love the environment. I love the graphics. The sound design is incredible. The sounds are so cool. Like when you get near like a robot or whatever, it makes this like weird like noise that you know it's nearby and it's searching, and you're like, oh shit. Or when you hear like a gun fly off, like somebody shoots a sniper at you, you hear like ricochet off the side, and then you got proximity chat. The interiors look incredibly detailed. Like, I mean, it's a really, really polished, well designed, incredibly good looking game. The UI is amazing, and that's where I mentioned Battlefront. You can tell it's from the Battlefront guys, because it feels a lot like the Battlefront menus, a little bit like inspired by that, which I appreciated because I thought that design was really good with Battlefront. But it's pretty easy to like manage your inventory and stuff like that when you're in combat. But the game's just hard. I mean, it's really, really difficult, and it's not for everybody, and that's where it gets tricky. It's like I want to play with you guys because I want to see if our experience changes. Because like I was telling Austin, like this game reminds me, which I didn't expect this, but reminds me like a combination of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and the Division. Division in sense of like the slowness of it, and just like the intense amount of looting that you do, and how much looting happens inside of buildings and stuff. But it is more like PUBG in that the size of the world, the minimal amount of encounters you have, but when you have those encounters, they are so incredibly important to like not die. Because like when you play like Fortnite and Call of Duty and stuff like that, it's if we got one or two of us, you can kind of run into a fight and might be able to survive and make it. But if you're playing in this game, it's like if you're one-on-one, it's pretty damn hard. Unless you just like get the jump on somebody else. Like it's pretty challenging to win. So like I think having like 2 extra players with you would make a big difference for this. But I want to play it with people because I feel like that's where it really excels and would get really fun with the communication. And it would remind me of like Ghost Recon Breakpoint a little bit, you know, where we're going in, raiding this building and checking corners, you know.
I'll get it. Because what Brett was saying. What Brett was saying, like the game mechanics are like super fun, very fun. I enjoy running around shooting things, but having a team would be a little bit of an improvement. So I'll get it with you, man. We'll be raiding some arcs.
Because I think even with the 2 of us, it would be better than just one. But like I definitely think this is a game that even Travis would enjoy, because it's got a little bit of the, you know, the Valheim craftiness to it, where you are crafting a lot of materials and stuff, and it requires. I mean,
He's
it does
like this.
Yeah, you don't think so?
Well, yeah, you go in, you loot, and then you can lose it all, even your guns. And when you come back, like he's gonna hate that.
Yeah, it's true.
It'll be fun until he loses all of his stuff that one time, and he's like, "I'm done with this."
Yeah,
I'm done with this game.
Because we've played extraction shooters before.
How many people can party up?
3 total.
3 total.
I mean, Tarkov, like that was like, what the fuck game is this?
Did you play Tarkov?
Yeah.
Oh, I never played it.
Yeah, because we reviewed it.
No. Oh yeah, we did. I never played it though. But yeah,
You didn't play it?
no, I didn't play it.
Okay.
I never played it.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, you lose all of your shit?
Yeah.
Like, this is stupid. Like, how are you going to go into a game, try to survive, and kill another team that's fully kitted out? Like, you're at a huge disadvantage. Like, unless there's a place to get loot, kind of like a battle royale.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, there's 1 spot or 2 spots that are like have a lot of high value stuff.
Yeah.
Potentially find some good weapons. The only thing I could think that would make extraction shooters interesting is if you have like powers that you can fall back on, potentially.
Yeah.
You know, that like, oh, I don't have a gun, but I have my powers, so it allows me to like, you know, maybe one ability for one class is you get to go really fast for a short amount of time, or the tank has like a shield ability that you can throw on for a short amount of time.
Why can't everyone just be friends?
Yeah, I know.
You know,
well,
let's extract together.
I will say I had more moments. I had more.
I don't know.
I had more moments than I thought in this game where that people were more friendly in this than I think they've been in any extraction shooter I've attempted to play. Because Hunt Showdown, it's like there's never a friend in that game. Everybody's trying to kill me.
That's what this game's going to turn
into. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, it might, yeah. But like right now, I was surprised because like I had that one encounter where I had the guy that, came and wrecked me or whatever. Or we had the, we had a chance to kill each other, but we didn't. And we extracted together. And then I had another moment where I went inside this building and there's a guy on the other side of the warehouse.
Yeah.
And I looked at him. I was like, oh shit, should I shoot him? And I was about to shoot him and then I didn't. And then I saw him like walk behind a wall and I think he was waiting, thinking I would shoot him. So he was hiding. And then I sat there and waited for a minute. And then he like came back out and then he like ran up the stairs behind him. And then I like ran past him this direction. We never saw each other again.
There you go.
I was like, thank God.
We're going to have to use in-game chat if we stream this.
Big time. And then he has, then there was another point I found out while watching a video because I was trying to get better at this game. I was watching a video of somebody where if you die, like if you're at the extraction point and you get killed by AI, because I got killed by the AI or knocked down, you're still down, but like surrender mode solo, you can still crawl. So I crawled into the elevator and extracted. Survived. Nice. Even though I got knocked. So as long as nobody else is around there to come and finish you off, you can crawl yourself. You can go pretty far. There is a bleed out, but you can go a decent amount to get to that point and then still extract safely. So that was cool.
I'm excited. I was excited about this game when they announced it 2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
at Game Awards.
I just love what like Embark's been doing because like this. If you look at these two games side by side, this and the finals, they feel nothing like each other. The only similarity is the design of the faces. That's the only thing that we're because like I don't really like the faces in this game, and I don't really like the faces in the finals either. But beyond that, like it feels completely different.
And I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were gonna have like a social hub.
Yeah,
the whole like going into a menu and going to talk to someone. I feel like that's kind of like weird. I thought there were going to be like a social hub where you just running to see other people and stuff like that.
So you go into a city, like the whole story is like there's an underground city. That
you go into a city, but it's
there's a cinematic, but it's not. Yeah. They give you all this.
Well, I mean, like what I'm trying to say is like everyone's part of the same city, except people go up and try to extract stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
They should have factions.
Yeah,
I think you would find like if you go up and it's like, oh, here's a faction. I'm part of this faction. Happens to be another team member.
That'd be cool.
I might not try to kill them.
Yeah,
like based
like,
on
we have joined the same faction. Why would I? I mean, there could be dailies or whatever. It's like, hey, help another faction.
Kill the Bloods. Kill the Crips.
Yeah, and then it's just like, oh, hey, let's team up and see if there's. I don't know. I think that would just make it a little more like set in stone. I'm gonna help you, and I'm not helping you.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think there's definitely some evolution like that can occur here. The foundation is freaking phenomenal. Like seeing this game versus seeing Marathon, like there's a big difference from me in that Marathon. I look at that, I'm like, I'm just gonna get my ass handed to me the second I drop in there because of how small it is. And in this one, like I'm still gonna get my ass handed to me like probably 70% of the time, but. Like there's a couple
other 30%, baby.
Other 30%, I'm like, fuck yeah,
I get it.
But there's a couple of things that they have in here that I think are smart. One of which is they have a thing called free loadouts, which I'm sure other extraction shooters may have this feature. But if you don't want to lose something and going into a game, you can use a free loadout, and it just kits you out with like a standard loadout, and then you can go in and do a battle. There's also these things called safe pockets. So if you pick up something in the world that you're like, I gotta keep this, you can put it in a safe pocket, and even if you die, you bring it back with you. So you have 2 slots, and I think you can eventually upgrade that to save something, which is nice. And every game you play, whether you win or lose or not, you bring back resources that you can use to craft. And there's this also, I don't get the how it fits in the story. There's a little rooster you can go to in the crafting menu that like goes out and fetches
weird.
Yeah, it's so weird, but I think it's funny. But it collects shit for you. So it's just kind of like free resources that even if you lose everything, you get resources that you can then use to craft to kind of get you back to where you were. So you're never actually going into a battle where you have absolutely nothing. Like you can either do the free loadout where you actually have some fighting chance, or you get enough resources with every login that you can like craft your basic ammo, you can craft a gun, you can craft your shield, you can get that stuff as your basic beginnings. and then you just may not get as much of the good loot as often until you start like, winning battles and fighting people and stuff like that.
I'll play with you, Brett.
There's also a skill tree. Yeah. Thank you. I'm excited.
Oh, there's a skill tree too.
There's a skill tree in this. So as you play, you unlock experience points that can apply to a skill tree that branches off 3 different ways. So one's based off of like movement, one's based off of survival, and then one's based off of, I think, traversal. Oh no, combat. I don't know what it is, but there's like 3 different pathways you can go to. So like one will start with like improving your stamina. One focuses on like vaulting, and the other one, the survival one, is what I've been focusing on. It makes it, because whenever you open up to loot something, there's like a little timer that it takes to reveal every inventory item in that backpack, because it's like you're searching through the bag. So you'll see like this little like highlight bar come up to before it reveals every item in the thing. Improving your skill points will make that move faster, so that way you can like uncover things quicker. Or when you like breach, because there's a point in here where you can do a breach and search, which means you pull out your crowbar and try to like open it up, but it creates noise around you, so it could attract the arcs or bad guys to come and try and kill you. So you can like breach and search and make that quieter, so you can like do some passive upgrades that are permanent upgrades to your character to make you better long term. And then there's battle passes in this game. So it is a paid game, but there is battle passes, but they're designed like Helldivers, in that you can buy, there's 3 of them in the game right now. You can buy one, and then by killing people, you unlock points that then can be used to unlock pages per page, and it's all cosmetic. So it's like you only have a set number of hairstyles and a set number of whatever, but it will unlock ways to make your character look better. Yeah. And it also unlocks points you can then use to buy resources from the shops, so like equipment instead of crafting it. So it's like it gives you a game bonus, but also can give you a cosmetic bonus, but it's optional. So
what do you want to play it on?
Probably PC. I'm struggling on PlayStation a little bit with it. I feel like if it's as much as it is, like I need to be closer to the screen, I think, for this game. Yeah, because the field of view by default is pretty wide, and it's like hard to see shit. It's like from a distance, because there's just so much detail, So I think PC would be a little bit better for managing.
Ooh, fuck that giant spider.
Are there like invasions and stuff, like times where like more robots just appear on the map? Or
I don't want more. They are fucking hard.
Well, I know, I get that, but like I wonder if like certain things change as you play, or
almost like Destiny, where there's like a world event and everyone gets involved.
Well, not even that, but just like it's like, hey, you're on this map, and they have like storms and stuff, but now it's like, oh, hey, more robots have appeared in this sector. So like
that's what I'm curious about, the timer. I'm curious what happens when the timer runs out.
So something I read, like I don't know if they're making a joke or if it's real, but they said like a giant meteor comes and blows everything up. I think that's not true. But it's,
does it feel like you can't extract anymore or something?
Then somebody else said nothing happens, but I'm like, there's no way. There's got to be some kind of consequence, So I don't know. I need to look. I can't give you an answer.
I would rather like a swarm of robots, just like they're high up, and then you have to extract. But I could have swore that it was saying that you can't extract.
I would imagine you either die, or it would be like, hey, you have like 4 minutes to get to an elevator, or else like everybo's eliminated, kind of thing. But I don't know. To your point though, Austin, about the dynamic events and stuff like that. So there's a bunch of different, there's a couple different maps in here. When you start out, you have access to one map to play on, and you get to drop into that. Since I've been playing, I've unlocked 3 different maps, and they're all very different from each other. One's like a super intense desert. One's like a spaceport thing. This might be the spaceport map, actually. And there's another one that's I forgot the other name of it, but there's 3 different maps. And then it's kind of like when we were playing Marvel's Avengers, where there was like random like events that would pop up on the screen that were like, hey, do this mission. There's like special loot here and special like event things here. One thing they have is what's called a night raid. So those are timed events that you can drop in on a certain map and do a night raid, which has a higher chance of higher quality loot, but it's at nighttime and the enemies are fiercer and more complex and harder to kill and stuff like that. So it like puts a lot more stakes into it. And they're limited time to get whatever comes out of that. So they do have variations like that. As far as like the games themselves, like I've seen, I mean, all the arc raiders or all the robots seem like they spawn randomly. Like there's no like consistency of like where they spawn. I mean, there's definitely like density in different areas, and there are events that are happening, but I haven't seen like oh, this is a big ass, like, I've seen a queen and I've stayed away from it. The queen's the big, huge, massive boss that like is like basically a giant ass boss to kill. I haven't fought it because obviously I don't want to die.
I mean, can 3 people take that out technically?
They should. I just don't know how yet. That's the hard part. But yeah, theoretically, yes, that would be the plan. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm really, as like, I hope that we can get into this 3-player and be like, yeah, this feels really good.
Yeah.
But I also do still fear there is a real possibility that this is not made for us, you know, because it is the extraction shooter is just a higher level of difficulty and challenge that to some people that's super fun. And for me, it's like,
I just play Marvel Rivals, honestly.
But I will say you were talking earlier about the losing everything. I was thinking about this. Like technically, it's not much different than PUBG or Apex Legends or Fortnite. It's like you spend 30 minutes looting for a bunch of shit.
Yeah, but do you find weapons in this?
Huh?
Do you find weapons?
Yes, and then or you can also steal from other people you killed.
Well, yeah.
So it's like it's similar in that, and you can also come in with a better weapon right off the bat.
Yeah,
which you can in a battle royale.
Right.
But like that's one of the things. It's like it's not really any different in that regard because like you could play 30 minutes and then die and lose everything, and then you just start the round over again. You have to loot all over again. You know. Yeah. So it's the only difference here is that there is a
perk system.
There is a skill tree. Progressive updates that can carry with you from game to game that gives you higher stakes with what you're collecting. Whereas in a Fortnite, it's like, you know that like you're more willing to go fight somebody because you know regardless of the end of that mission, you're going to lose that gun. You're not going to get it again. In this one, if you lose that gun, you're losing that gun and you don't know when you're going to find it again. So there's a little bit of a higher, challenge there. But otherwise, it's like, it's not any different really from a battle royale other than that you get to keep some stuff that you get that progresses with you from round to round.
Yeah.
So when I look at it that way, I was like, honestly, it's not that much harder. It's just, it feels harder in that the game is slower and it's not as like, because you have the ability to retain those things, you feel less, you are more cautious just inherently to not run in there and run and gun and like die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all my experience with something like this is with the Dark Zone and what you call it?
And Division.
It's just like you go in there. If you haven't been in there since the beginning and been mining and dealing with bullshit, all that stuff, like you are at a severe disadvantage, and you might as well just like, for me, it's like I'm not even gonna try because people have all the good stuff. You come in at a disadvantage, even like starting off the game, with something.
Yeah,
and you just have people who are fully kitted out, like especially in Tarkov. Like I hear that a lot. Like people they are hardcore, ready to go in, can take out anybody. And it's just like, what the fuck's the point?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a really good point. I mean, that is kind of the big thing. It's like, what are they going to do to make it where new players can come into this and not be like overwhelmed and just destroy,
you almost can't. I mean, you just have to get good and want to put the time in to get to that point.
But that's the thing, though. It's not, after a while, it isn't necessarily a get good anymore. It's like, get more time, Yeah. It's like, because I mean, like you can get good all day, but if you have shitty guns, then you're not going to be any better than the person that's got a level 5, whatever, So
that's what I was saying. If there was like an abilities that you could fall back on to help you get out of sticky situations, even like just not having the best weapons and just having a pistol or whatever, like would be helpful for beginners because it allows you to be like, okay, when I get out of the situation, I can go try to find something.
Yeah.
And get out to upgrade and move forward a little bit, but most of these games don't have that. I mean, I guess Marathon has abilities.
Yeah. Yeah, no abilities in here.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Is this crossplay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, fully crossplay, cross progression. It's going to have the same Embark thing where you have to have your Embark ID to like synchronize it across.
I love it.
Hell
More
yeah.
fucking things I have to sign up for.
No, you already signed up for it. You have it in the finals.
Yeah, it still won't let me change my.
Well, you need to figure that shit out, man. You gotta get it. You good.
I will say, like the most appealing part is like going to these maps and just like looking at stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
pretty.
traversing it, and
Yeah.
It's
It's
pretty.
really pretty, and there's some interesting. I mean, every experience I've had has been completely different, which is kind of cool. It's like I've had different
you want.
encounters, different moments. I've had some games last like a minute. I've had other games last me 10 minutes and still survive, and some I've died but still got like some good stuff out of it because I like learned, how to play better or whatever. So there are some. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know there was a wall you could put up. So I was doing some comparisons with some existing extraction shooters that have been in the news recently. Marathon obviously is one of them that we've recently talked about. Looking at the two of these, what a lot of people have been saying is that there's more enthusiasm for this one because of the world that they've built and then the general mechanics. And I think partially like Arc Raiders has spent more time to like get player feedback because they have more play tests and stuff. But it is interesting to see that even though Marathon just had their test, this thing came out and like I've seen all kinds of videos popping up about Arc Raiders is the best. Arc Raiders is incredible. Arc Raiders is changing the game, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's insane how much people have latched on to a brand new, not fully tested studio versus Bungie, who is Bungie. It's just so interesting to me that there's such a dichotomy there.
I wonder if this was planned, or if they
Could
just
be.
like saw like, oh, Marathon is getting shit on. Let's jump in and make it about us now.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it could have just been time.
It could have just been that's how it was planned to begin with, and not what they expected.
There's also another game that I got a play test access to that I did not get a chance to play, and I was really sad about. It's called Exoborn. Have y'all seen this game?
No.
So this is made by a company called Shark Mob, and this one is meant to be a faster pace kind of extraction shooter. And I'm in the Discord for it right now, and people are pretty hyped on this one too. Like it's also kind of getting more recognition than even Marathon, but in it they have it's environmental hazards like extreme weather and effects such as, it's kind of like Just Cause if y'all ever played that.
Yep.
It has grappling hooks and like crazy weather effects, and you have an exosuit, so like you're an enhanced player character soldier, kind of like Crisis a little bit, but you get to like move around, fly around, and you can also just like fly up anywhere where you are and like escape and move in different areas. So this one's been getting some interesting praise as well. But people have said that it's cool, great idea, but there's not as much innovation in like the extraction shooter
The fucking
mode or whatever.
hook is so slow.
Yeah, it's kind of silly. It's weird looking. But the let me see.
I thought about replaying Just Cause.
Oh, really?
It was such a good game. It's so fun.
It was. Yeah, similar elements here.
Yeah. So it's interesting though. But it's interesting that there's so many different games out there. I also don't love when a game goes from third person to first person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghost Recon does that a lot.
I know it's weird.
I don't think it's weird.
I think it's weird. I turn that
weird.
shit off. No, it's
Yeah,
terrible.
both weird.
So
Hang
weird.
down sights, baby.
Yeah, well, that's why I play first person shooters, Give me that first person perspective.
Helldivers does that.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I hate it. That's the only thing I don't like about Helldivers. Yeah.
Still plays.
It's not bad. It's just it's
Still
weird.
plays it. Still
It's
plays
weird.
it.
I
Still
know.
plays
I
it.
love it.
Fucking
I love
plays
it.
Just talking.
I don't always do it in
playing
Hell. I actually turn it off in Helldivers most of the time. And just use the
okay, now the
overflow view.
excuses are coming up.
Anyway,
Anyway,
so we'll play it, and you'll hear about it.
yeah. Arc Raiders.
I'll probably
there
get
it
it on
is.
PlayStation, to be honest.
That's fine. Yeah. I'll probably run better on PlayStation. Yeah. Cool.
Just in case I don't like it, I can trade it in.
Oh, that's true. Well, it might be digital only.
Is it?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Small studio, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We're in the future, man.
Future
Yeah.
technology arcs.
There you go. Arc Raiders.